World War II series, the war that changed everything before the Cold War, before the nuclear age. There was a fire that reshaped the entire world. A war fought not just with weapons, but with ideas, ambition, and vengeance. Episode 1, The Spark. How World War II began, before the Cold War, before the nuclear age. There was a fire that reshaped the entire world. A war fought not just with weapons, but with ideas, ambition, and vengeance. This is the story of how it began, how peace turned to chaos, and how the world's greatest tragedy was set in motion. Explore 4 defining chapters that reveal how one man's ambition and the world's hesitation lit the spark for a global war. 1. The aftermath of the Great War. The Great War was supposed to end all wars, but in its ashes, a darker storm began to form. The year was 1919. The Treaty of Versailles had been signed, and with it came both peace and humiliation. Germany was forced to pay, to surrender, to bow. An empire reduced to rubble, its people left hungry and humiliated. But history has shown resentment as a seed that grows in silence. 2. The rise of a new power. In 1933, a man named Adolf Hitler rose to power, promising strength, unity, and revenge. To a desperate nation, his words sounded like hope. To the rest of the world, they sounded like echoes from a nightmare. He rebuilt Germany's pride and its armies. As factories roared to life and tanks rolled across fields, the world watched, uncertain, unwilling to believe what was coming. 3. The world watchers and waits Europe watched uneasily as Germany rearmed in defiance of the treaty. The League of Nations, built to preserve peace, stood powerless. When Hitler marched into the Rhineland in 1936, there was outrage, but no action. When Austria fell in 1938, silence again. At Munich, leaders smiled for cameras as they signed yet another promise of peace. But peace built on fear is never meant to last. 4. The spark ignites. On September 1st, 1939, the silence ended. Germany invaded Poland. It was swift, it was brutal, and it was unstoppable. Within weeks, Polish resistance was crushed beneath the weight of Blitzkrieg, the Lightning War. 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany. The world was once again at war, a war more terrible than anyone could imagine. The spark had become an inferno. Within months, the world would be drawn into a conflict that touched every continent, every ocean, and every life. This was the beginning of World War II, the war that changed everything. Subscribe for Episode 2, The Fall of Europe. How a continent collapsed under the weight of Blitzkrieg, and how courage took to the skies.